Hello friends! I'm live. I've got my Sip Sip Hooray cup. I'm watching some birds out my window. I just discovered there is a nest in the tree right here, so I am watching Mother Bird carry snacks to her little babies, and it's so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm testing on my screen to make sure that the audio is good. If you can hear me, give me some sort of a thumbs up or let me know that you guys can hear me. Yay! Sip sip hooray. It is such a gorgeous day here in South Carolina. The heat has already been awful though. It's been in the 90s. Oh my goodness. If you are just hopping on, let me know where you are watching from. If you're watching the replay, let me know that as well, where you're watching from. Today, we are going to be hanging out with our I don't know, with our drinks, our waters, and our whatever, for some fun. I thought I would talk about 5 things not to do when you're hosting a party, because there are some things, right, that we shouldn't do when we're hosting a party that I thought would be fun. So I'm going to share some things with you all, and I thought it might be fun if you would share some of your favorite tips and tricks for hosting a party of what not to do. So if you are watching the replay, I will go back and respond to your comments. So whatever comments you leave in this live stream, I will interact with you in the comment section because I look forward to comments. So this live stream. Okay, I gotta get another sip. Keep having people pop in and out, so maybe I'm not being exciting enough. It's so hard to talk to yourself in a live stream. Interact with me in the comment section down below so I don't feel so alone. Let's talk about 5 things not to do. So I have been a director of children's ministry for 15 years, which means, for those of you who don't know, I work with kids for the past 15 years. And I plan like large events for a large number of kids, and I plan small programs for small numbers of kids. So I have lots of experience of creating fun, exciting events and parties for large groups as well as small groups. So that is where my party hosting experience comes from. I actually don't have a lot of, to be honest with you guys, I actually don't have a lot of party hosting experience here at my home because, I don't know, I'm kind of an introvert. Okay, not kind of. I'm very much an introvert who pretends to be an extrovert. Not pretends. I should say survives. Oh, there's a mosquito. Oh, geez. Did I get it? I didn't get it. There's a mosquito in here. Man. Gonna be dealing with that here. If you see it flying around me, let me know. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this because we're about 3 minutes in and people jump in and out, they jump in and out. All right, so my first tip of what not to do when hosting a party is don't do it alone. This goes for parties. This goes for any sort of event for kids. Don't do it alone. Because if you're the one doing all the work and you don't delegate to your friends and your family, then you don't get to talk to everybody and you don't get to relax and enjoy the party yourself. So what I like to do is make a list of I'm a list maker. I like to make a list of all the topics and tasks that need to be done for the party, and then I like to ask people to help out with that. So if you are just now popping in, let me know that you're here. Melody, hey! I need to come visit you. I've got a big supply of baby clothes for you. So Melody, we're just talking about what not to do when you're hosting a party. And so I was saying my first one is don't do it alone, because I'm a list maker and I like to ask people to stand at the door and greet. I like to ask people to help out with setup and cleanup. So I'm not just talking about parties at your house, but also any sort of fun event involving kids and families. Melody, as you know, I've worked in churches, so I have a lot of experience planning large events large fun events specifically for kids, and you just don't want to do it alone. It's no fun by yourself. Grab some friends, have someone take care of setting out food for you, have someone be in charge of the games. If you're gonna have a craft at your party, do have someone be in charge of the craft. And yeah, so don't do a party alone. I see we have a couple more people who have jumped on, so let me know you're here in the comment section. Let me know you're here, where you're watching from. Thank you so much for joining. I am sharing with you tips of what not to do when you're hosting a party. My mistakes that I have made, so I don't want you guys to make them. And if you have any tips of your own of what not to do when hosting, it could be like a party at your house, like a birthday party, or it could be a family party, or it could be a church kind of party, fun event. Let me know if you have any tips of what not to do. All right, so my second tip of what not to do is don't assume that people know where the bathroom is. Oh, hey, Todd. Hey, Todd. Todd, do you have any parties over at your house? Yeah, so don't assume that people know where the bathroom is located, because, okay, so this anywhere you are, a home party or a church party, just signs are important. At churches, signs are important because when you have like a fun event or a fun party with a lot of kids involved, then kids have to go to the bathroom a lot. And you don't want to have people constantly asking you where the bathroom is. That kind of, if you're having a conversation with a friend or something at your party, then that, interrupts constantly. So if you have like if you have a house party, I like to put like a cute little sign, like print something cute out and stick it pointing to where the restroom is, so that I don't have to constantly be telling people where the bathroom is located. So I made that mistake once, and I will not do that again. I will always make signs for where the bathroom is located. So Todd, yes, we're just sharing tips of things not to do when hosting a party. Yes, I am well, Todd. I hope you are well as well. All right, let's see. Number 3 of what not to do is don't forget to, I'm looking down at my notes here. If you see me look down this way, I'm looking at my notes. If you see me look that way, I'm looking at my laptop to read comments. Okay, so what not to do is don't forget to think about food allergies and vegetarian. So this is a personal problem for myself. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I am vegetarian. And I've been a vegetarian since 2008, so 10 and a half years, almost 11 years. And, oh, Melody. Okay, I'm gonna stop what I'm saying to answer Melody's question. Melody's asking, is this all related to kids' parties or parties in general? So all these tips are, most of my experience comes from churches. So my experience as director of children's ministry. I actually don't have very much experience at home throwing a party. You know I'm an introvert, Melody. But this works for a home party as well as for like church parties, Sunday school parties, classroom parties, any of those type events, any kind of fun children's events. I found are all the same. Basically, they're all the same, It's just a matter of numbers when you have parties, if you have a large number or a small group. So these tips will work for all those. So yeah, if you have any tips to share with us, Melody, pop those down in the comment section. All right, so what was I talking about? Oh, allergies, food allergies, and vegetarian. So always accommodate. You want to have your guest and the people attending your party or fun event to feel very welcome. And I found this in churches that they will put bacon in everything. This has happened to me so many times. Bacon in the salad, bacon in the green beans, bacon on the cupcakes. That is a popular thing here in the South, is bacon on the cupcakes. So just be aware. If you can ask people, if you know who you're inviting beforehand, you can ask people for allergies, specific allergies, so that you don't have to buy a lot of extra food that would cater to a bunch. You can just cater to those, people that are coming to have some alternatives, food alternatives. But if you have a large group, if it is a large event, group fun event with lots of people, then you do want to plan for various allergies, food allergies. So just have some alternatives, some gluten alternatives, some dairy alternatives, some chocolate alternatives. And you don't need to buy too much, but that just makes, makes people feel welcome. You want people, when they leave your party, to feel like they made a friend, and you want to feel like, hey, you know, they went out of their way to make me feel welcome here, and I can actually eat the food. So that's a big one. All right. My fourth tip. Oh wait, before I get to my fourth tip, I want to ask you, since I have two awesome people here still on the live stream, Melody and Todd, I want to ask you both. So I was thinking of doing like a monthly, I need your thoughts on this, a monthly like birthday party live stream. I don't know. What do you think that would go? Like, I would announce that we would just celebrate the birthdays like in the month of July. So I would do one Saturday live stream would just be dedicated to everybody's birthdays in July, but everybody on my channel could attend, and it would basically be like, I'm not singing, I wouldn't be singing happy birthday, but we would play like a fun game, and I would have elements, like surprise elements of a birthday party in the live stream. I don't know. I'm thinking about, I feel like it could either go really well or not so well. So what do you think? Should I try that like one time and see, like advertise, you know, not advertise, but post on my YouTube about having just like a July birthday party? Okay, Todd, you say you think that's neat? Okay, thank you. I figure it might be worth trying just once. I mean, but what do I have to lose, you know? Okay, thank you. You don't think it's totally stupid? It's not like a stupid idea. Because I was trying to think of, I want to do, you know, I want to keep making fun live streams, and I really enjoy the live streams. But at this point, it's, you know, it's hard to figure out what to talk about too, because I can't like show a party, because I don't really do parties at my house unless it's like a birthday party or something, but we don't have any of those coming up. So okay, thank you, Todd, for your opinion. I appreciate it. Melody says that would be fun. I was in a launch group one time that did slumber parties. Nope, you're fine, Todd, you're fine. Melody, you were in a launch group one time that did slumber parties. What did that look like? Like, what do you mean? Oh, when books came out. Like a launch party for books. Okay, yeah. Okay. And it was on Facebook. And it was fun? Did they play like games? What kind of stuff did they do? I need to look into this, don't I? I have Googled to see if anybody has done like a live stream of like a birthday party on YouTube, and I haven't found anything for that. Oh, door prizes. Yeah, it would be fun to do giveaways, but giveaways are hard. And I don't have a P.O. box yet, so when I mail things out for prizes and stuff, then it has to have my physical address on it, and so that makes it tricky if I don't know people. I'm starting to get large where I have people from other countries, so I don't know that I feel totally comfortable with that. Oh, and okay, discussion topics and fun stuff. Yeah, I was thinking of playing some kind of games, you know, that don't require props, that that would you rather game, you know, would you rather, thinking of one I saw recently was like, would you rather be at Jesus's resurrection or Jesus's crucifixion? I feel like that's an obvious one, but but you know, like some kind of game like that maybe. Discussion topics, fun stuff. Yeah, I want it to be really fun. Like, I'm thinking of, I did buy some confetti, and so I was thinking of like tossing up confetti, and then I got a couple other little fun little Amazon surprises up my sleeve that I've been thinking about. So I thought I would try it one time. Okay, if you guys think that's a good idea, then I will try that for July. Thank you for your opinion. And if you're watching the replay, I want to know your opinion too. So let me know your opinion about the birthday party live stream, monthly live stream, in the comment section, because I want to know your opinion too, because we have a lot of people that watch the replays of my live streams. Okay, so I'm going to move on to number 4, my tip number 4 of what not to do at a party. And it is, okay, don't forget to introduce people to one another. Like, this is key. This is a big important one. Don't forget to introduce. I'm the worst at this, the worst. Ricky, my husband, can tell you that when So working for a church, you're constantly around new people and people you know, and it's important to introduce people to one another, and I am the worst at that. So I don't do what I do, and I just forget. I just assume everybody knows each other. I don't know why. Like, I would just assume, Melody, if you were over my house and I had other friends from the area over at my house, I would probably just assume everybody knows each other, even if it was only like 3 or 4 people over my house. It's so weird. Like, I just don't even think about that. So don't do that. And when you introduce people, you know, don't just say a name, like say a fun fact about them. I'm much better introducing children to one another when I've had fun events where I've had to have children. We've had new kids mixed in with like our regular church group kids. I usually know at least one church group kid who is really good at making friends and is not shy to talk to other kids, and so I'll have that kid be like my designated greeter for the other kids. And so when we have new kids visit, then I'm really good about making sure that everybody knows that one kid, so then that one kid can introduce to all the other kids. So that's what I do. That's my tip number 4 that I need to work on. All right, let's see here. Okay, tip number 5. I was hoping to stay on for 30 minutes. Let's see here. Oh, Melody says, totally agree with the fun fact. Bonus if it's something they have in common. Right, yeah. If you can remember things about both kids, yeah, the new kid, find out something that they have in common with one of your regular church kids, or with your friends, if they have something in common, that makes it a lot easier to introduce them to each other. I feel like sometimes I just say like random stuff. Like, Melody, okay, I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna introduce you because you don't know Todd, who's here. So I'm gonna practice this, okay? Melody, this is Todd. Todd loves saving reptiles from the wild. He and Melody, I know that you also care about animals because you have 3 pets at home, 2 dogs and a cat. So even though reptiles and cats don't go together, you both are animal lovers. And a fun fact about Todd is he has a YouTube channel that is all about showcasing rattlesnakes and educating people on rattlesnakes. Melody, fun fact about Melody was you were on my floor, right? In RA in college, right? See, I'm horrible at this. I'm horrible at introducing people to one another. I'm trying to think of a really funny fact. Melody is my friend from college who puts up with a lot. I started to say, all my fun things, Melody, all my wacky, crazy stories involve your husband. You weren't on my floor. No, you weren't on my floor. Do we have like connecting? I don't know. Cause you were a year under me, right? We're a year apart. I always forget how we are because I always feel like you graduated with me. But I know you didn't. I know you graduated, what, a year or 2 after me? Anyways. I'm horrible at this, Melody. I'm horrible at this. I was your prayer partner at the retreat? I don't remember that. That's awful. I don't remember that. Yay me. Yay. I probably was really quiet, but I feel like you were quiet as well. We were both really quiet. We probably did some really good prayers then because we're both really good one-on-one. Oh, you did it in 3 years. Yeah, and I graduated in 3.5, so we walked together then. That whole ceremony was a blur because I had already graduated a semester before I actually walked, and because I wanted to walk with my class. But I had already been out of school for, a good 6 months or so. I'm so sorry. I have the worst memory. When your husband was telling the story about, okay, this has turned into just a phone call. How weird is this? But when your husband was telling the story about throwing the glass of water in Jim's face, I had completely forgotten about that. Like, completely forgotten that I had done that. Until he reminded me, and then I was like, oh, okay, and then it just started slowly coming back. I don't know why I have like suppressed memories from college, but it was a really long time ago. Oh, okay. All right. I need to get back on topic, Melody. See, I need to come visit you. I do have a load of baby stuff for you, so I'm just making sure I get it all. Okay. Tip number 5 of what not to do at a party is don't forget your backup plan. So anybody who knows me, I have backup plans for my backup plans. You don't have to be as obsessive about backup plans as I am, but it helps if you are like, if your party is going to be outside or your a fun event is going to be outside, plan a backup for rain just in case of what's happening. If you have like 3 games planned for your party, have 2 extra games planned, because sometimes the games are over sooner than you think, and there's always one that doesn't work quite the way you planned. Even when I'm filming games, like I'll have games that have worked for like other YouTube channels that I've seen, or I've gotten games off of blogs and then I try them myself. So I'm like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work at all. Or I'll just make up a game completely and I'm like, yes, in my head, the game or the activity is gonna work perfectly. But then when I try and execute it, I'm like, no, this game does not work. So have backup plans. You know, especially like if you are depending on other people. So in that earlier tip, in my first tip, I talked about how don't plan a party by yourself, you know, don't execute the party by yourself. So I always plan to have an extra person involved. So that way if somebody cancels or can't do something, then that person can step in their place. And I always, if there's any kind of craft or game that involves any sort of instructions to the kids, I will delegate those activities out, but then I will always know how to do them myself just in case somebody can't come. So a backup plan is essential for a party. So I wish you could have backups of cakes, because I have had several parties, personal home parties, where the cake has been a flop. Like one time, we ordered a cookie cake and then we went to pick it up the day before and they had lost or the day of, and they had lost our order, and so they had to make one really quick, but it was still really hot, and so when they put the icing, the frosting on the cookie cake, it just all melted. It was really bad. And then I have baked cakes before and they have looked awful. I've tried baking a unicorn cake that did not look like a unicorn cake. I tried a Lego cake one time and it just completely fell apart. To stop baking cakes. So unfortunately, you know, you can't really have a backup cake plan, except maybe try and cover it with frosting. Anyways, so those are my tips for what not to do at a party. What happened with the cake today, Melody? Cake disasters are the worst. We had one with our wedding cake. We had a disaster with our wedding cake. All right, while I'm waiting, you type in your cake story. So, Melody, you were at our wedding, but we had a cake disaster because our wedding we got married 2 days after 2 days after Christmas, as you know, and the cake person, baker, he decided to deliver the cake like 2 or 3 days before the wedding, which, okay, no big deal. We told him he could do that, just to have it delivered and stuck in the church freezer. And then my brother-in-law, he knew how to assemble a cake. So then he would just assemble it. It was a tiered cake. I think it had 3 tiers, and he would assemble it when on the day of the cake. So they said, don't assemble it. Well, we walked in the day before the wedding and the cake was already assembled and I think it had been sitting there for a day and was already assembled. And so it was like starting to sag. Oh, it was bad. The cake was still good, but it was not looking pretty. So then my brother-in-law had to disassemble it and then try to assemble it back, and it just didn't look right. But okay, Melody says, let me see what you said about your cake disaster. Oh, you used the wrong flour. Daniel didn't label it. What kind of flour did you use? I've accidentally used the whole wheat flour before for stuff, and you know, you gotta put a different amount where it gets. Oh, you use corn flour? Oh, that's disgusting. Did it turn out really flat? Or did you catch it before you stuck it in the oven? Oh, and then you accidentally dumped way too much powdered sugar on it. Oh, powdered sugar gets everywhere. Powdered sugar gets everywhere. There's some fun games with powdered sugar you can play. Oh, it sunk in the middle. Is that how you knew? Was that like the clue? You were like, oh, I definitely used the wrong flour. Did Daniel still eat it? That's what I want to know. Did you guys still eat it? I would have tasted it. It was super crumbly. As long as it tastes good, that's my thought. Is as long as the cake tastes good, it doesn't really matter to me what it looks like. But I know some people care what their cake looks like. Well, good. Well, at least people ate it, so that's good. Oh, you're the best. You're the best, Melody. I have other things I want to talk to you about, but this isn't a phone call. I keep wanting to chat with you about some other stuff happening in Asheville. Oh, the chocolate covered up the weird flour. Chocolate covers up everything. Just put a little chocolate on it, it's all good. A little chocolate, glass of wine. You're good to go. Yay! All right, well, I'm gonna wrap it up here because I got through all 5 of my tips. And as much as I'm enjoying talking with you, Melody, I feel like I want to call you on the phone, but I'm coming to visit you soon. So we will chat more then. I'm excited. All right, thank you so much, Melody, for showing up. Thank you, Todd, so much for making an appearance. And normally these live streams last about 30 minutes. So I am going to say goodbye. I do have a Tuesday video coming out. It's exciting. And it'll be 10 last minute party games. It's coming out on Tuesday. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.